Dear dignitaries, members of faculty, good afternoon to one and all present. On behalf of the United Educational Institutions, we welcome you all to the second day FDP titled Leveraging Quality of Education through Strategic Teaching Learning Process. Now I invite Mrs. Joy Vincent, Department of English, to introduce and welcome the resource person.
Good afternoon all. The resource person for today has done her post-graduation in Mysore University and PhD from Bangalore University. Her main areas of research are antioxidants, antimicrobial activity, micropropagation, organic agriculture of medicinal plants and environmental issues, quality management in higher education and academic auditing. This erudite intellectual is a contributing editor for international magazine Environment Pollution, and she has published many articles on environmental related issues. She has organized regional, state and national level UGC, NAC, DCE, VTPC sponsored seminars, FDP, national and international webinars on plant science, quality management, environmental issues, academic and administrative audit, and many more. The woman of expertise served as a member of BOS in microbiology, biology, genetics, and botany of several universities and autonomous colleges. Currently, she is the BOE chairperson for Foreign Science of Bangalore University. She is also a keynote speaker in several international and national conferences and webinars. This exuberant expert has completed one UGC minor research project and two VGST projects. At present, she is the project director for a major research project funded by ICSSR under IMPRESS scheme. Apart from regular articles in environment pollution, she has contributed an article on academic and administrative audit, a significant domain of higher education institutions for the online magazine Data Quest for September 2019 issue. This veteran has been awarded the following awards such as Best Teacher Award by Lions Club and by Kotik Mahindra in 2009 and 2019 respectively. Recently, she has received the Best Speaker Award in 7 days FDP on statistical analysis in academics and research from Maharashtra. Presently, she serves as an associate professor and head Department of Botany and IQAC Coordinator from Government First Grade College, Vijayanagar, Bangalore, Karnataka. Such a proficient personality is Dr. Subha. Dear Madam, we heartily welcome you on behalf of United College of Arts and Science, and a note of gratitude for accepting our invitation as a resource person for Day 2 titled Leveraging Quality of Education through Strategic Teaching Learning Process. Ma'am, kindly take over the forum.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Shall I start? Hello? Shall I start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon to one and all present here. We are on the second day of 7-day national level virtual FDP on strategic uplift and augmentation of quality in affiliated colleges. My topic for today is leveraging quality of education through strategic teaching learning process. See, most of I think all the participants are teachers here. Am I right? I hope all of them are, the participants are teachers. And
Yes,
we are
Yes,
from,
ma'am.
most of us are from affiliated colleges. And it's a great challenge in affiliated colleges, that is teaching learning methods and then strategies adopting. We have to adopt many different types of strategies to get better results. And this is really a big challenge compared to autonomous colleges and universities, because we actually are following the university syllabi framed by BOS of respective universities and subjects, and we have to follow that one. But of course, we need not have to be very like disappointed because we cannot do something about to contribute to the syllabus framing activity. But at the same time, we have our freedom in teaching learning process in our own colleges and for our own students. And of course, if we are on board of studies or BOS member, definitely we can contribute a lot to this teaching learning process by taking feedback from all the stakeholders. And to begin with, I will just tell you which are the areas that I'll be covering in this 1 hour session. The Indian methods that we were following earlier, and the students' admission and diversity, slow learners and advanced learners, that is a variety of learners we get, diversity, that is diverse learners or students from various backgrounds we are getting, maybe slow learners and advanced learners, and then learner-centric methods of teaching and learning, say for example, experiential learning, participative learning, and then problem-solving methods, teaching learning methods like ICT, flipped classes, so that is a recent one, internet, using internet, and the smart boards, videos, LMS, etc. These are the things which actually bloomed or mushroomed now because of the pandemic. And then faculty profile, of course, faculty is a very important we can say aspect in teaching learning, because without faculty it cannot happen at all. And then teacher students ratio, teacher mentor ratio, and then outcomes. Nowadays the buzzword is outcome based education. This outcome based education is very, very important, because we have to start from, while syllabus making only, how the questions will be framed. That is, we have to analyze the students' comprehension, knowledge, and this we will be dealing in outcomes. And then feedback, of course, we have to take feedback from on various aspects from students. And then the most important thing is evaluation process, like internal assessment, what in the affiliated colleges we are doing and what we can do our best. And also, even if we have to follow for the final examination or end semester examination on university. And then the grievances related to internal assessment also we have to be we will be discussing about this. And then coming to teaching and learning, what is this teaching and learning? See, day one of our schooling, we will be teaching and we will be learning. Like teachers will be teaching and then students will be learning. But even at home, we will be learners, and also as parents, we are teachers also. But affiliated colleges, if we consider, it's a method in which the knowledge of teachers is transferred to their students. It can be developed through different systems. There are various methods, and it depends on the locality, geography, and also person to person, subject to subject, stream to stream, program to program, course to course. Like that, it can be different. In one way in which the teacher, it is the way in which the teacher is only speaker. Okay, that is what earlier we were following. And it may be a circular one in which teachers and students both contribute to the development of the class. And here, the most important thing that I should mention is Gurukula system of our ancient education system, that is our ancient Indian education system of teaching and learning. Actually, we followed participative learning, experiential learning, and then evaluation. You have learned many, heard of many Panchatantra stories, how a guru evaluates his shishya. And now, let us have a glimpse of Gurukula, our ancient Indian system, where there is a very close bondage. There was a very close bondage between Guru and his disciples, a teacher and disciples. And it was actually, there were no schools like this or colleges with concrete building. And as you are aware, it was in a forest. Guru used to teach his disciples, and you should remember that there was also inclusive education, because even kings or emperor's son will also come study there, and also another layman's son may also come and study there. There was no discrimination. So that was our system. Even at that time, there was inclusive education as we are following today. And then It was followed in Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, and many other religions in various parts of the world. Different types of education was there. And then you must have heard of Panchatantra stories. And then usually Guru used to tell about, to teach something, some moral or values. He used to tell a story, and then like this, he used to educate his disciple in a very formal manner. And nowadays we have the residential school. At that time Gurukula was there, and then the curriculum was mainly on like warfare, military, politics, religion, and literature. These were the main curriculum at that time. And then the students used to learn many things by listening to the stories like the goose and the late golden eggs. That is, the once a farmer got a goose, and then it was laying golden eggs every day. He became greedy. He thought that if he cut open the stomach of that, he may get more number of eggs, and instantly he can become rich. But once he did, he could not get anything, and that goose was also dead. And then that was how moral that we were also told by our teachers when we were young. That is how why we should not be greedy. Like that, even in our higher education system, there are many things that we can deal with in teaching learning. We are at freedom to teach in the classroom because we are the kings and queens in the classroom. And then nowadays online education, we can compare it with our ancient Ekalavya's remote education, that he learned his Bilvidya from his guru. And then you can compare it that with the online or MOOC, like he learned Shabdavedi, this Vidya from his guru. And this is how we Indians, our Indian system of education was very much on a higher level, even in the past also. And now let us focus on our talk today. That's first of all, what kind of students in the student teaching learning aspect? That is, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
And yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us just focus on this. What are the types of students that we get? See, we get students from all different types of backgrounds, like they're different from different cultural background, social background, linguistic background, geographical background, whatnot. We get students from various types of background, especially in government colleges. And maybe it is true with the other private and government aided colleges also. And then they will all come together in a classroom and sit together, and a single teacher will be handling those students who are from varied backgrounds. It's a very difficult thing. And then but we should be inclusive. We have to address to the students, these students of different learning abilities. That is very important. Of course, their socio-economic, linguistic, cultural backgrounds are different, but we have to concentrate on the learning abilities. And then even in all our colleges, there is roster system that we have to follow, and we are following that. Whenever there is a demand for any course, we have to follow the roster system. That is, there is reservation policy, that is AC, ST, OBC, and many quotas are there. And then as per that, we have to fill the seats in our respective colleges. And this also, there is a diversity among the students. And then now all the students are in a class, and then they will not have the same learning abilities. So some are advanced learners, they can learn very fast, and some are slow learners. And in this respect, I would like to stress upon one thing, that is actually in Karnataka we have only for theory classes, like in commerce and languages and non-core subjects, about 100 students have to be accommodated in a classroom. And for science, it is up to 66 students. And here, it's a very big challenging task for us to know about the learning ability of the students. And especially to distinguish between advanced learners and slow learners. Actually, to speak that there is a fine line between advanced learners and slow learners. And so advanced learners and slow learners would have been advanced learners if they would have got a good schooling. That also we have to take care. And then here, another thing is student and full-time teacher ratio is very important. As per UGC, it is 30:1. And then here another important thing is mentor. Mentor plays a significant role in this teaching learning, because mentor should understand the ability of any of his or her mentee, because they are the ones who will be knowing their learning abilities. And then the ratio should be around the same thing, like for a mentor it must be around 20 mentees per mentor, but it is higher in many uh, higher education institutions where the student strength is more. We can have one more co-mentor who can assist the mentor. And then we have slow learners, advanced learners, and then how to identify this slow learners and advanced learners. And then we can identify them by various means and methods, like during orientation program or induction program we can have a survey, and then we can directly ask in that survey that whether they're advanced learners, they have memory or they can understand bit very fast, or they the understanding capacity is slow, and then application capacity. All these things we can collect it, and we can categorize them in at the beginning of their entry into the college. And at the same time, along with that, the first and foremost thing that we have to consider is the 12th marks or previous year marks, or even the 10th marks is also has to be considered, because maybe due to some reason they must have got different marks or less marks. And then once you got to know about it, you can conduct. Another important thing is bridge courses can be conducted for 3 to 4 hours or 4 to 5 classes, and then give them a small test, MCQ type, and then you can just find out who are fast learners and advanced learners, and then who are slow learners. And then here Bloom's taxonomy also will come into our rescue. And then how we can categorize them, I have told you the procedure. And then what are the characters? How can we identify them apart from the ones that I have explained now? These slow learners, they have attention deficit. They actually lack concentration. That is, for 5 minutes they will concentrate in the teaching, but another next moment they will not be. And then whenever we ask a question, they may not be able to answer it quickly, and have the poor retention skills. And then there is slowness for association between words and phrases. That's very important. That also we need to identify. And then they will learn.
Swapna ma'am ipo community message போட்டுருக்கேன். நீங்க தான போறீங்க.
Habits of learning is very low, and they may forget it very quickly. And then they are unable to set up and realize the standard or workmanship. And then they may have to copy from others. They may lack originality and creativeness, and they are unable to analyze and they may not be good at problem solving or critical thinking. And then they may lack power to use the higher mental processes. But to identifying the slow learners with these characters, or it's really a Herculean task for a class of 100 students, and mentors and class teachers, and then those teachers who go to class, they should come together, and then they have to categorize them. And then another thing is we should be having high patience. Our patience level should be very high. See, we cannot see higher understanding students, like advanced learners will understand whatever we teach in very fast. but the slow learners may not so. And also we have to teach them many a times. And then like we can have some teaching videos, and then we can have the participative learning, field work. And another important thing is in schools they have the bench leaders, like that we can make the peer learning and teaching. See, we can make groups, and then the one who is advanced learner, along with that student, we can just give 3 or 4 students to him and tell him to teach whatever he has understood. And then this advanced learner will teach the topic or whatever, and at the same time he will also learn extra because he has to prepare and teach. And then we need to give very less home assignments to slow learners, because it may become burdensome, and they become slow learners may become anxious. Once they become anxious, their learning ability again will come down. And then at the same time, we should not neglect the slow learners. We have to appreciate them in front of all. But if you have to criticize, or if you have to tell something, something wrong, or something, if something goes wrong, then what you have to do is you have to tell them. We have to tell them personally, call them personally and tell them. And then another thing is, or the mentor should recognize the problems. Why the slow learners are learning slowly? May not be their brain capacity is good, but due to some socio-economic reasons or the background of the student, we need to understand why he is or she is learning slowly. And then we have to understand, and if we give a better environment and counseling, if it is done properly, that student can become an advanced learner. That's our contribution to our student community. And then we can give them group project, involve them in group projects, peer tutoring, remedial coaching classes. This is the best. And then I have told you about the orientation program earlier itself. And then coming to advanced learners, we advanced learners actually, they're also challenge for us, because we need to keep our knowledge updated, and also we should know everything about our subject also. And then here, active participation, we can allow them to participate in seminars, conferences, workshops, and then prepare them to publish papers, and also present papers, and give them some small micro level research work, so that they can do it, and then they can publish in they can publish it in some ISSN or ISBN journals. And then they will have their personalized goals, and then we can give them the study material, additional study materials, the higher level study materials. And then we can give them individual projects and then field work. And because they are having at a higher level of understanding, we can allow them to share their knowledge along with us. And then these are the this I just have taken it from the net, that attributes, that is advanced learners, how they can be, they can disseminate the knowledge very easily. And then they can go to higher studies at foreign institutions, and then can be involved in wildlife surveys and many other surveys, socio-economic surveys. And then they can be given, or we can just motivate them to go for summer internships, and then science academy workshops. And then we can tell them to have some, apply for some scholarships, and then professional and proficiency examinations also we can guide them. And the competitive examinations, UPSA and the state level public service commission examinations, that will be going on every, I think once in a year or twice in a year. We can we can coach them, and we can train them when they come to final year, or whenever they are in the second year or final year, and then let them take up the examination. We can coach them, and then they can take up the examination, and then they can clear that one. And now we know about the advanced learners and slow learners, the identification, and then categorizing them, and then making them more competent, that is slow learners competent enough to compete with advanced learners is it's a challenging task, but we can do it with if we actually concentrate on that and then make up our mind. It's not a Herculean task actually, and the only thing is the number should be less. I have already told you about the mentors and mentee ratio. The most the thing that is required is 10:1. That's very less. It cannot be done maybe it may be in a postgraduate level that could be followed. And then the recruitment in government colleges is actually it's sometimes they freeze for some years, and even in the private colleges, management colleges, they just want less number of teachers to teach more number of students. That actually changes this ratio, which is not actually in many, whenever you go for any ranking process, definitely it will affect the ranking process and also maybe accreditation process. And then even the ratio of students to teachers and then students to mentors is very high, and this has to be reduced. And government in government it's very difficult, but management colleges can take up this task and then recruit their own teachers under management process. And then this actually helps teaching and learning process in a very definitive way. And then student centric methods are very important. Once we saw, now we know about the diversity of students and also the teacher student, I mean the ratio also we know. Now let's like the process, how the teaching learning process, let's concentrate on this now. Especially earlier, teacher is a king of classroom, he's the leader. Now that is not the thing. Here it's both the students and teachers, they contribute for teaching and learning in a classroom. And nowadays we must concentrate on student centric methods like experiential learning, participative learning, and problem solving methodologies. And of course flipped classrooms and blended learning. Flipped classrooms are very important, because nowadays this is the concept now we have to follow. Especially for advanced learners it is good. See, the meaning of flip, that is we are flipping one class, that's it. We can give whatever we are going to teach in the next class, we can give that in the form of a video, and then the students, we can just put it in their Google Classroom. I think all of us have this Google Classroom. We can post it in. That is an online tool where we were using this during pandemic, when there was a lockdown, when students were not there, and then there was virtual classes. We used to give everything in the this thing, Google Classroom. And we can post our videos, our own videos, or you can just download some YouTube videos and then post it in the WhatsApp group, or you can just give the link, and then I have to listen and analyze it and then come for the next class. Then you tell them that you just whatever doubts you have, you can just note down and they come prepared for the class, like we people, like teacher. That is, they have understood something, they have questions, and they come. So now you need not have to teach them now. Just you can discuss with them. You can discuss. Already they know the what you will be teaching, or they know the topic. They have understood to some extent. They have some questions, and then they have come to your class with some questions, and then you can discuss it, and you can roam around in the classroom, and then you can give the answers, and then you can make them to participate along with you in the teaching learning process. This is a very important thing, and I think this could be done for advanced learners. And even you can to some extent, if you give some like videos, or your own created videos also, you can give it to your, and then even the slow learners also can cope up after some time. And then this is the concept of the flipped classrooms nowadays, that we can do it, but to some extent it will be successful. We cannot come do the thing for the whole syllabus. Some part of the syllabus we can do this flipped classroom wherever the topics are quite easier. And then when they come to final year, you can give a little bit tougher topic also. And then experiential learning I'll be discussing with you afterwards. And then use of ICT enabled tools, very, very important. See, flipped classrooms, you are using the ICT enabled like internet and then videos. And this is the ICT. Without ICT, no education nowadays, especially after the pandemic. So all of us have learned the online teaching, video creation, and then many gaming tools, and also the test. We can give test, online quizzes we can give, and then like test internal assessment can also be done. And you have many tools here, and we have the now GoToMeeting is there, Zoom is there, and then Teachment is there. That is very, very nice one, and that is our own make. That is making in under Make in India, and then Digital India concept it was done, and that is also very good. And you can go live like YouTube, and you can have the timetable also shared in the group. And this is another important thing in the offline classrooms. LMS is a very important thing, learning management system. In Karnataka, our Deep Department of Collegiate Education has introduced throughout Karnataka. Thanks to our Department of Collegiate Education, our minister and commissionerate, all the officials present there, they have introduced throughout our Karnataka. We have more than 400 colleges, government colleges. At a time, they have installed the LMS unit in all the colleges, and we have prepared our own teaching material. We have the PPTs, our own videos, and then study material, and also MCQs. And in this, we can teach them. Actually, even that app, the students can download their app, or they can directly go to Karnataka LMS, and all the resource material or the study materials are available for each and every student once they are registered their own subject. It's an excellent, you can say, one and only, almost I think nowhere in India has been done, especially in the government college, not with respect to private colleges. I think our state is the first state to adopt this one throughout across the state, and all students have access to it with their mobile phone only. They can do it. Most of our students, they have the Android phone because of this online teaching. They're having, and our government has given laptop and also tablet so that they can use this LMS. So this is LMS tools. This is another important ICT enabled classroom. And next is in this and offline, we are now we have recently we have started across India that offline classes. We are using all the tools like internet we are using, and then LCD projector, multimedia projectors, and then videos we are using all this. But there are many tools also, education tools that we are using, and Google Classrooms where we can do so many things, and then Kahoot we are using. And now, with respect to the next, experiential learning, let me tell you about experiential learning. That is, here students learn by doing. Like in science, we actually make the students to do the practicals. Like that, in all the streams, it can be done. And the examples may be field work, individual projects, model making, science models they can do, and they can actually present it. And once they do it, and they will learn the concept. And then mock parliament, especially the political science or humanities students, they can conduct it. It is a wonderful concept, mock parliament. Whatever is happening in the parliament, we can all see. You can conduct this, you can tell your students to conduct this or make this mock parliament. And then the role plays, the language teachers, especially Kannada and English, they can adopt this. And then also acting, because they have many things to do this. And then of course the surveys, especially in humanity, surveys plays a major role. Micro level projects you can give them at micro level, like they can conduct a survey on the effect of the corona on some roadside business, or effect of corona on some you can say, or COVID pandemic on some roadside vendors or vegetable market vendors, vegetable vendors, flower vendors. those who are in economics teachers can give this, and then the students can do this, and they can conceptualize then what has happened. Even the commerce students can do this. And then the after effects of COVID pandemic, that can be, in our botany syllabus, this NEP has introduced coronavirus structure and function, and then infection they can study. The students, even zoology students or life science students, can go to corona affected families, and then they can have a survey what are the effects, and then how they are feeling now after once they got rid of this corona infection. So this micro level research without any, you can say, you need not have to have money also for that, just conducting survey. You need to have some questionnaire, 20 or 25 questions you can adopt, and then you can just get the things done. This is a micro level research, and the students will experience, and this may be away from the syllabus or within the curriculum it can have. Even inside the curriculum, many aspects are there in all the streams, in all the subjects. You can just pick out that, and then you can give it to our students so that they can learn something. And then it should, here in the students must be willing to be actively involved in the experience, and they must be able to reflect on the experience. See, because they should experience, there should be concrete experience. When they are doing, they will get the experience, and then they should be able to observe it and then reproduce it. The same thing, they should be able to reproduce it. See, and then reflection of that observation, they have to watch, and then they have to watch, and then they should be able to reproduce it, and then they should conceptualize it. But they can they should be able to conceptualize or generalize it, and they should be able to apply it on a different area, or they should be able to apply it. So this is very, very important in experiential learning. This is what the experiential learning states. So it must be, they must be able to reflect on the experience, and they must possess the use of the learner must possess and use the analytical skills to conceptualize the experience, and the learners must possess decision making and problem solving skills in order to use the new ideas they gain from this experience. That's the wonder. That's the important thing or beauty of this experiential learning. And then coming to participative learning, you make a group of the students. Peer teaching, or to teach is to learn twice. I have already told you. That is peer teaching or collaborative learning or group work. Make them into groups, and then you just tell them to come out with some ideas, and many ideas put together will become an excellent idea, the best idea. That is, only the students will be involved, and you can guide them. So this may be the participative learning, and they may get the best idea. See, this is because students, there are many students are there, and then if all of them think in a focused way, they can come out with an excellent idea. And then problem solving skills. This is very, very important. This is nothing but the scientific temper. See, scientific temper is nothing to do with the science or anything. Like in each and every one of us, all the students should actually inculcate this. That is scientific temper. That student may not be a science student, or any student who is studying science. Anybody for that matter. That is, they should have the problem solving skill. See, that is scientific temper. That is, if there is any problem, that student, any problem for that matter, maybe a family problem, maybe at home, or maybe in the college, maybe in the studies, small problem. Maybe they may have to go to college, and if they find some problem for going to college, like they may be some bus is missed, or something happens like that, then they have to switch over to another way. See, or something like that, they may go by bicycle, like that. So they have to solve their own problem on their own. Okay, so this is nothing but scientific temper. And here, the critical thinking plays a very important thing. Whenever there is a problem, we will think. We have to give a problem to our students. Tell them to think about it, and then why there is a problem and how we can solve. You reason. They will be giving the reasoning, and they have to analyze the problem. Once analysis is done, they will evaluate the problem. Once they have evaluated the problem, they will get the solution. Okay, and once the solution is there, the problem is solved. And finally, once the solution, if they get the proper solution, they can decide on that solution whether to implement it or not. Then finally, they can do their best in solving the problem. The most important thing about this critical thinking, see, each and every student will have at some level or at the other level. Advanced learners may have the level of thinking at a higher level. I'm telling you, slow learners may be slow learners by genetically, but because of some socio-economic reasons or due to their childhood upliftment or maybe due to some of other reasons, they may not be as advanced learners. Give them some room, give them some time to become advanced learners, compete with the advanced learners. You tell them, teach them, and then you allow them to think critically for a longer period. They will also come out with problem, and fine day they will become advanced learners. And if all of us teach this slow learners in a positive way, we may not have much number of slow learners, maybe few, because all of us are bestowed with good intelligence. And then uh, here, this the most important and then problem solving story is the crow and the water. Okay, that is the thirsty crow that all of us must have studied. See, crow in a very on a very hot summer day comes in search of water. It will be flying, and crow is supposed to be one of the intelligent animal uh, among the in the animal kingdom. And this crow will be flying on the land. There will be so many things it will see. It can have food, but there is no water, no, because it was a hot summer day. Then in a small house outside, it will find a small pitcher, and it was very happy. And it absorbs water in it. So what it thinks is, I'll get water, and it just flew towards the pitcher. And once it peeps inside, the water level is very low. So it just tried to put its beak inside, but it could not accommodate its beak, and its beak did not reach the water level. So what it does, it will think critically. It thinks critically. So it also has scientific temper, and then its thinking capacity is also very good. Once it the thinking capacity of this is good. I'm telling you, it's the crow thinking capacity or intelligence level is very high. What it does is, it just looks around, and then it brings some pebbles and then puts one pebble. The level came up. So what it thought, again it let me put some more pebbles, and then so it puts more pebbles into it. The water level came up, and then the thirsty crow drank water, and then we know it flew away happily. This is a very interesting and important example that we give in our to our students, and even our teachers gave the example for critical thinking and scientific temper. That crow has scientific temper. That is why it could get water. So even the slow learners have that temper, and only thing is, we teachers should identify, and also mentors should lend their hands in making them advanced learners. This is a wonderful example. And then now let us move on to the faculty qualification. Teacher profile is very important. If we have good qualification, good knowledge, then only we can teach our students. So teacher profile and quality is very, very important. I request, if many management people are there, you please recruit those teachers who are having very good knowledge and highly qualified ones with PhD and publications. Of course, those who are doing PhD also, and good service. Okay, that's very important. And then it's better to fill all the sanctioned posts. So there should not be any vacant post. It's better whenever there is ranking, and when you apply for some certification and all, it will benefit you a lot. And then teacher qualification, the highest qualification is you can say usually we have the PhD, and then postdoctoral research is also there. The management can actually provide like FDPs, like we used to get that UGC FIP a faculty improvement program, complete our PhD. So teacher qualification is a very important thing, and then number of full-time teachers, not the part-time or guest faculty. Full-time teachers who stays in the college and who completes 90% of the curricular aspects, they are very important, and that is a very important thing in touch teaching learning process. If teacher is having good environment, the teacher or faculty will definitely produce good teaching to students and then help in uplifting the student community. And then now the buzzword is, I have told you, outcome based education. It's a very important thing. And when we frame the syllabus, earlier, when we used to frame the syllabus, we never thought like what questions will come and learning ability and all those things, especially in the degree colleges. Now, whenever we frame the syllabus, those who are on BOS and all, they should know this. That is, whenever we frame the syllabus, that it should actually the outcomes, we should think about the outcome. If we introduce one topic, what is the outcome of the topic if the student learning? That's a very important thing. If the student learning, what is the outcome of the topic? Only that kind of topic should be introduced, and then learning outcomes of those things should be mapped. And here, that is why I'm telling you reverse transcription. DNA is our genetic material. It transcribes during protein synthesis. It produces mRNA, that is called transcription. Sometimes RNA helps in RNA actually it acts as template to synthesize DNA. This is called reverse transcription. So here in OBE, our reverse transcription we have to follow. That is, from questions or from outcomes, we have to frame the syllabus. And then another important thing is, when we admit the students during the orientation program or during our admission, we should actually make the students aware of program outcomes. Program is nothing but BA, BSc, BCom, BCA, BBA, all these programs. What is the outcome if they study these programs? And then course outcome. Course is a single paper. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, like in botany, microbiology, and then taxonomy, photosynthesis, like that is, plant physiology is there. And then in commerce, you have many papers. You have many business, and then business mathematics is there, business English is there, and so many international business, so many things are there in commerce, in BBA, and even in arts, like in political science, you have many papers from paper 1 to 8. So like that, each paper is called a course. So what is the outcome of that course? If they study that course, say for example, if the student study about the plant taxonomy, that is naming of plants, what is the outcome of that course? That is a paper, plant taxonomy or plant physiology. What is the outcome of that course? The course of outcome is nothing but the students will be aware of the naming of plants, and they can name the plants. Okay, they will identify the plants, name the plant, and then assign the plant to the family, and they will find out, they know, and then they will be knowing the economic importance or application of those plants or the usage of those plants. Like that, that is a course outcome, one paper. Like that, there will be program specific outcome. That is, it is specific to that particular program. How the attainment of POs, COs, and PMOs, that is the result. How the result you have to, if one course is there, then we can map it to that one. But in the new NEP, new education policy, the syllabus they have made, that is to understand the outcomes they have given, and even the question paper pattern is also they have given PO1, PO2, PO3, like that we can map it in the new syllabus. And then if you have the program outcome, like 1 or 2 or 3 program outcomes or course outcome, rather I can tell you course outcome. If you frame a question then on a particular topic, if out of 100 students 50 have answered, then 50% is the learning ability, only they have achieved that outcome, another 50% they have failed. Okay, so like that they can be mapped, and the attainment is when mostly the research, and then even the question if you have the syllabus, because we cannot frame the syllabus and we cannot give the this thing like the question paper pattern, also model question paper. When the university does, if you are on the board of studies, then you can do this exercise, you can tell them do this exercise, and this helps you in mapping POs COs. And then yeah, these are the higher order skills, like it can be like Bloom's taxonomy, it is like that. First it's the remembering, and then understanding. Once they understand, the students can apply and then analyze, and then you can evaluate that one, and then they can create the new thing. And then this is how the higher order skills the advanced learners you can give. The most important thing, we have come to this feedback mechanism. See, all this time for another maybe 30 plus 50 minutes, I just told you about the different types of teaching learning apart from chalk and talk. That is our conventional method. I didn't tell you because it's the most important one. Even we conducted one survey in our college. More than 80% of the students, they want the chalk and talk method only. Whatever may be the government or our other people or agencies or institutions tell, they need only chalk and talk, because the teacher and student, they will be together and it creates some bonding with them. So more than 80% of the students opted for that. And then feedback mechanism, this is a very important, the how the students are satisfied. We can conduct a how they are satisfied survey on this. We can conduct a survey on this feedback mechanism. We can take, we can have a this thing Google you can have one survey form, and then Google form, and then you can give it to students, and then fill up, and then you will get the result. And then you can take feedback on teaching, how we teach, how the teachers are teaching, how the mentors are there. See, I am just putting some examples how we can create the Google form, that is the how much the syllabus was covered, and whether the teacher was punctual to the class, whether a syllabus was covered 80% or 100% or not, or 20% or not at all started. And then I know there are people who won't start at all, maybe due to many reasons. And then mentor, how was your mentor and mentee relationship, whether your mentor was able to solve your problems, and then how was your library, how is your library, and whether library helped you to get additional, or learning center, library or learning center helped you to learn additionally or extra things, and then giving books, and then how it helped you to gain additional knowledge. And also your office people, marks card is there, so many things, from fee, you have to pay the fee, so many things that the students, they have to go to office for many things. And how the office people are responding to students problems, grievances. And then even of course principal, on principal also you can put a question, the whether he is he or she is available to you whenever you want and able to solve your problems. Like many, all these are problems related to students, and you should give this. See, there should be 360 degrees feedback from the students, from all the stakeholders we need. But as I'm touching upon teaching learning, I'm telling you this. So because why I'm telling this administration things is that that will also contribute to teaching and learning. See, without that one, teaching learning is not at all possible. If the students will line up in the queue in the office for hours together, he cannot attend the class, or he cannot do some projects that we have given. So that also should come under this. And library, it's a knowledge bank, and also principal should attend your all the students problems. So that's why I have added all these things, so the teaching learning becomes easy and not cumbersome if the students are given a better environment, good ambience in the college or in any education institution. So this is what I wanted to tell. Overall teaching learning process involves all aspects of any higher education institution, starting from cleanliness in the college, a garden or greenery in the college, so that they feel better. Once students have good vibration in the college, or vibes in the college, they can study better, they can learn better. And you can see the students' feedback on teaching, on administration, on principal, on teaching learning facilities. It may be LMS or it may be chalk and talk, classroom, benches, cleanliness in the classroom, and in the lab, availability of the instruments, chemicals, plants, so many things, blah, blah, blah. And these can be given. And on this, the feedback can be taken from the students. It may be a satisfaction survey. And then now once you collect it, you have to analyze it. You will get it maybe hard copy, or it's very easy to use the survey form or Google form. Now once you will get the report readily, and you will can, with the help of Excel sheet, you can download, and then you can, with the help of filters, separate it and see, analyze it. And then if any lacuna is there, say for example, if there is a problem in some teachers that the teacher may not be able to deliver it properly, then you can note it down. Some teachers may not be good at online classes. Some teachers may not be good at some, maybe arriving late to the class, leaving the class early, or there may be some problems in the office, maybe problem with the principal may not be there, maybe he is a busy person, he may not be available. All these things we can get in the feedback, and you just make a committee, or even IQAC can sit together with the principal, identify the lacuna once you get the feedback, and then you just separate it and find the solution in the meeting. You just IQAC, the think tank of the college, should find the solution. You can just meet the HODs if it is required, or you can call the office people if they are required, any complaint or anything negative about it, and then find out a solution. And then if you just address this, any problem or grievance, if you get it in this, then this is the action taken, and you make a report. And then this action, if it is taken, definitely I'm 100% sure that overall quality enhancement in teaching, learning, and evaluation is addressed. You can address if you take it properly. In those colleges where the student number is less, you can do it very easily. But if the number is more, it's of course challenging. And whatever in our hands, we can do it. If it is in the hands of a university, or if with respect to syllabus, or with respect to some like our higher education or government, then it is difficult, and it can take some time. It's better to redress these in a very short period of time. Now, the last part is evaluation. We have taught the students, they have learned, and then how the evaluation is done, could be done. And evaluation helps to build any educational program, assess its achievements, and improve upon its effectiveness. And it is an inbuilt monitor, and we can review the process of teaching, learning from time to time, from month to month. And then whatever we get from the feedback, we can just redesign our administration at the college level, and teaching, learning process at the college level. And it helps the teachers and learners to improve teaching and learning. And it is, of course, a continuous process and a periodic exercise. And then how to go about this evaluation? Just it's 3:29. I may take another few minutes. May I take it, madam? I can continue. Okay. Evaluation process. See here, affiliated colleges, we have our own internal assessment system, and at the same time we come under university. So based on the university's academic calendar of events, we have to have our own examination calendar or academic calendar, where we have to specify whenever what is our IA test, when we have to conduct, but we have to adhere to it. Maybe first test may be done after 30% of the test, second after 70% of completion of the syllabus. And then once we do this academic calendar, examination calendar, when is the IA conducted, and then when it will be the result, when will be the marks card given, when will be the parent teachers meeting, and then mentors meeting. All these things should be recorded. And then This is the calendar of events for with respect to IA. And then assessments, whatever we are doing is both summative and formative. At the end semester examination, the sum of all the things that I have learned they will be reproducing in their examination. That is summative assessment. And the formative assessment is very, very important. That is just IA. We can once in a month we can conduct internal assessment. That you can have it here, the formative assessment. And then this internal assessment should be robust and then transparent in any educational institution. There should not be any partiality, or there should not be any discrepancy in that. How to go about this? Actually, nowadays they tell, that is when you allot internal assessment, in front of the students only you have to allot, so that it brings in more transparency. But when the student strength is more, it's very difficult. We can just, they value their scripts, and then in our university we give marks for the students as attendance, assignments, and also the test. So marks is divided like that. Maybe in other universities it may be there. And then once you give a lot marks to under these categories, you tell the students that you have allotted. You can put it on the notice board on the respective department. And then finally, you can just put it on the notice board for all the students to see that. And any grievances is there. Like one student may come and tell you, Madam, I have attended so many classes. I have written this. You have not given me the sufficient internal assessment. Another student may come, Sir, I have done this. You have not allotted the marks that have been allotted to other student. That student will compare. So like that, whenever there is, you have to give time for students to give their grievances. Once all the grievances are collected, you can conduct a meeting, HOD's meeting, and then you can sort out within your staff why that student has given, if any. If it is the purview of you, and if the student is correct, and you can definitely justify that one. Otherwise, you can tell the students, convince the student that why did you got less marks, because you got because you have not written it properly. It's not, the answer is not there. You tell that student. Let it be more transparent. And we are inclusive. We should follow the inclusivity here, because inclusiveness is very, very important. We should never should not have any other we should never be judgmental, any other thing in our mind. Only we should think that all students are one and the same for us. That's the most important thing for any teacher. All students are equal. Maybe slow learner, or advanced learner, or maybe from any background, that student is the same to us. And then this transparency in internal assessment is very, very important. You can conduct online tests also. Online tools are there. And then transparent evaluation process, and then the grievances that I have given, you should redress it in a very small number of days. You should take, that is just few days, maybe maximum of 6 days. So the time grievances redressal mechanism should be robust and very short period. They should have, it should be solved in a very short period of time. And then for that, what are the things you can do at the institutional level? Documentation is very important. Anytime anybody can come, their parents can come, and then they can ask you. So for that, you should have your own grievances redressal policy in the institution. And then you have the communication of this policy to all the stakeholders. Stakeholders means here I am telling about students and their parents also. And then you have to follow a perfect guideline, and you have to document it. You should not go away from the guidelines. And then IEA marks distribution is very, very important. And then just as I've told you, any problem is there, you have to correct it and prevent if any loophole is there. In the next coming, you have to, before that, you have to correct and prevent it. And then you have to follow complete 100% transparency in allotting IEA marks. So all these things I'm telling you about the teaching learning. And then now, what is our role? You may be wondering, oh, madam, you have told so many things about teaching, learning. We teach so many things, and I teach botany, you teach microbiology, and another person teaches mathematics, physics, and then political science, Kannada, English, commerce, BBA, so many things. Many things are there. So I'm teaching that one. That is my, you can say that's my work. That's it. I need not have to do more than that. No, that's very wrong. Because as teachers, we have a greater and responsible role to play, and especially to uplift our student community. That is very important for any nation, because the teachers are the builders of nation, and they play a significant role in shaping the career of students and also in creating a responsible individual who could contribute significantly in building the nation. Teach them ethics, teach them values, and then societal commitment. And this is our one and only contribution to build a healthy and inclusive society. And with this quote of our great APJ Abdul Kalam sir, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the whole world. I would like to conclude my topic. Thank you one and all for your patience listening. Thank you very much. If you have any queries, questions, you're most welcome.
Ma'am, good evening. It was a wonderful session,
Yes,
ma'am.
good evening.
This
Thank
is
you,
from
madam.
IQAC College, Govt. Ma'am, you were talking about evaluation and documentation. And in this context, you mean that the marks will have to be documented?
Yes,
They need
madam.
to
Yes,
press
even the
reports.
test papers also. Yes, you
We
have to
have to.
preserve the test papers also. If you
Yes.
have the papers you give, no, you have to preserve it, because sometimes what happens, the parents will come. They will tell
Yes.
that our child has done, or my son or daughter has done very well. You have given allotted less marks. You can show them on hand. You will
Yes.
have that one, and it has to be properly documented. Means that you have to make a list or register we maintain in the college. No?
Yes.
And that we have to document it properly. Then we can show it.
Yes, ma'am.
If
Thank
any
you, ma'am. Thank you.
grievances.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Participants, do you have any queries?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, madam.
Ma'am, this is Vidya. I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have, or can you recommend some mechanism to identify slow learners and advanced learners, ma'am?
Just now I explained so much, no, madam. The thing is, the most
Like
important,
you told us
easiest
about,
way for us.
you told us about handling
Easiest.
them. Yes.
Yeah, first I have told about identifying the advanced and slow learners in the beginning itself. I'll just I'll tell you. The thing is, the most easiest way is when they come to your college, you will conduct one orientation program or induction program. Okay, in that, a few teachers, what we do is ice breaking session we do, and each teacher, 2 teachers will be allotted to 30 students. Half a day they will be with them. They will be having some group discussions, and then exchange of ideas. So many things will be there. And then once they come to know about the students, they will come to know about the capacity of the students on that day.
Ma'am,
This
excuse
is
me,
one.
ma'am, I think they
Yes.
are asking about, the question is, what are the methods or suggestions to improve the slow learners? Or
Improve the slow learners.
yes, that's
Not
what I think
identifying.
the question is that. It's not
Identifying
how
or
to
improving?
identify them.
It is about
Because
identification.
No,
Madam,
there
she
are
said
those different
identification.
questions. Different questions are
I
there.
am
One question for
not able to see.
identifying and one question for evaluating or improving.
Okay. Okay, improving. See, you can. This is one way. Afterwards, you can conduct a bridge course in the college. When they arrive in your college and get admitted, you just make 2 or 3 sessions. One, the whole syllabus you will have. Just glimpse of that syllabus, you give some topics you teach them, and then some lacuna from 12th to degree you can teach them, and then give them a test to for how far they have understood this. If it is science, give them some instrumental work, that is they can handling the instruments, and then you will come to know definitely who are the slow learners and who are the fast or advanced learners. And this is one method, okay, that is you can give the exams and all MCQ or some test. This is one thing, you can identify them. And even when you're teaching, there are students who will answer. See, this is informal way that they will be keep on answering to your questions. Oh, very now and then. They're the advanced learners. Those who cannot, you can see their faces and you can identify them. You can, they'll be blank, and you can tell them if you don't understand. You can come. They can come to you and ask. That is a different thing. So the most important and effective method is just to conducting one MCQ type after having 3 or 4 sessions in a bridge course, and you can definitely identify the slow learners and the fast. You can just differentiate between slow and fast learners, and also in between medium learners are also there. Okay, this way you can do it. And then how you can handle the slow learners, how to make them competent enough to compete with the competent enough to compete with the advanced learners. Madam, I will tell you one thing. That is, I had one student. Now he is passed. He's doing some PG program. He used to get failed in all the subjects. Okay. Then what we thought was, there were some good students like advanced learners. I made the advanced learner 3 or 4 students to teach him few lessons. Once my session was over, my teaching was over, they used to teach them even in the bus stand or in the canteen or whenever they go out. And this has helped him to pass in my subject. So this is pure peer tutoring. Sometimes what happens, some of these slow learners, they have some maybe inferiority complex. That is, because they are slow learners and because they are scoring less, they have this inferiority complex. So they may not come and interact with you in a very in a manner that advanced learner interacts with you. So they will be very you can say free with their friends, and if their friends teach them, they definitely will learn in a better way. At least they can pass the examination. And then you give them some task like projects, small projects, which they may not use much of their brain. And once they started using them, see madam, our brain cells are very, very important here. Once we are using it, they will be very fine. If we stop using our neurons, it will become useless. So that is degenerative. So that is aging problems. The same thing we can apply here also. We should make them to think, allow them to think. May not be at a higher level in the beginning. But once, if you allow them to think critically and also allow them to participate in making the projects or some field work and pay more attention to them, definitely they become advanced learners. Only thing is they need that attention, and they need how to think critically. Just you please teach them, you can definitely, they will become, at least to some extent, they can come to the level of advanced learners. Few of them can come to the level of advanced learners. Did I answer your question, madam or sir?
Very well stated, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, please apply this. Any more queries?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering the queries.
Madam,
Yes,
madam,
sir,
good
go ahead,
afternoon, ma'am.
sir.
Yeah, good
Hello.
afternoon. Yes,
This
good
is Dr.
afternoon.
Yugandhar Reddy. Madam, can you please share your PPT, madam? It's in fact I was in class. I could not see gone through properly.
Okay, sir.
I
Sure.
think
I think I have sent it to Joy, madam. Okay, please share your this thing,
mail
sir.
ID.
Mail ID.
Mail ID.
Definitely, I will share it. Okay, okay.
Okay,
My
madam.
number, you can take note of my number. I'll
Okay,
send it
madam.
by WhatsApp.
Okay,
93.
madam.
Okay.
Just a moment.
93412. Okay. 93
93
41
93.
41
Okay, ma'am. Oh,
27
27.
3617. 93 41 27
Oh,
3617.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Okay.
Cool. Any more queries? Thank you, ma'am.
You're most welcome, madam.
Thank you, madam, for this informative session. You helped us to travel from the ancient times of teaching, learning process to the present day. Thank you, ma'am, for highlighting the role of a mentor. Ma'am, we assured you, as teachers, we follow your insights in teaching learning process. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay. Thank you all for patiently listening. Okay, then. Shall I leave?
Gratitude is a powerful catalyst for happiness. It's a spark that lights a fire of joy in our soul. Now I request Mr. Venugopal, Head, Department of Computer Science, to propose the oath of thanks.
Most respected dignitaries, teaching fraternity, my dear colleagues. Very good afternoon to one and all present here for this day 2 of 7-day virtual FDP. It gives me an immense pleasure to express my gratitude to one and all present. I take this opportunity to thank our today's eminent resource person, Dr. Subha, IQAC Coordinator, Associate Professor and Head, Government First Grade College, Bengaluru, for her valuable presence and guidance on the topic leveraging quality of education through strategic teaching learning process. Madam has highlighted key points with clear explanation and guided us how to plan and meet out the expectations specified in the second criteria. Madam, thank you so much for sharing your experience and insights to get accredited with maximum score. It's my privilege to thank our most respected chairman, engineer, Thiru S. Shanmugam, United Educational Institutions for his constant support to organize this valuable FDP for the betterment of teaching fraternity and for the institution growth. It's my duty to thank our beloved Vice Principal, Professor A. Vijaya, United College of Arts and Science, for her immense support and guidance to make this event a successful one. I express my gratitude to the respected teaching fraternity from various states in India for your active participation. Thank you once again.
Participants, we will mail you the PPT and kindly post the attendance sheet. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your active participation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.